Here's my review of X-Men 97, Season 2, the finale. And it's the last episode. This season felt like it went by a little too quick. And I thought that overall, I enjoyed this finale and I enjoyed this show, or this season overall, but it was just a big step down from Season 1. And I think that's just because I just don't find Apocalypse that compelling, I'm going to be honest. He just feels like another, like, I get the idea of where he's like the first mutant, and because of that, he wants, like, they take over the world and stuff, but it's just not that interesting in my opinion. I have to say, there are so many incredible visuals in this episode where, especially all the stuff with Nightcrawler pleading to a Celestial to. I thought all that stuff was great. Every single scene of Nightcrawler in this episode, or in this season as a whole, is just great and beautiful. It almost feels like a little church session every time we're with him, which is just excellent. And seeing Gambit become Apocalypse was pretty cool. I just think that overall, Apocalypse is just not that compelling of a villain. And I get it's there to make Rogue feel sad. It's there so we have more emotional attachment to this villain. But I just don't really find Apocalypse to be compelling, so I just didn't really care as much. That being said, when we do get Gambit back, he's just awesome. He always is just one of the best X-Men characters. He's so much fun. His action scenes are great. His powers are so unique and fun. And when we get him back, it really livens up this episode because he's just such a fun character and so over the top. He's just great. And I think that all the stuff with Forge and Storm is also excellent. Storm is one of my favorite X-Men, and although she's not in this episode a whole lot, I think the scenes with her and Forge, I think it might have only been like one scene. I thought it was pretty good. But really, I thought the real standout of this episode was Nightcrawler, as he tends to be. He has such great talks with Beast, and I think it's just so compelling to have these two mutants. It's just kind of funny seeing some of the interesting parallels. Is they're both blue mutants, and one is a man of science, the other a man of faith, and yet they still are able to just never bicker, but more just connect over it. And I always find that to be just really compelling. And I think that the way this season ends is pretty great. I think that it ends in many ways in a romantic sense with Rogue reuniting with Gambit, of him being back to normal. But like I said, I just find Apocalypse to just not be that interesting, and I just find him to be boring. And it's just disappointing that a show that has such high highs in season 1 and was just a fantastic season, not get a bad season, but just a noticeable step down. I will say overall, I think that this season was good, but it's just not anywhere close to the quality of season 1. And I also got to say, I think all the stuff with Jean Grey, I think all the stuff with Jean and Scott and Cable was great. So many, basically a little great family drama of just Scott and Jean talking to their own son, talking to Nathan. That stuff was great. I enjoyed all that stuff. But I just think that overall, our villain here of Apocalypse is just not that compelling. And the way they capture him also, I guess it kind of works for what they did. But I just didn't find it to be that compelling. Overall, I think that this season was good. I even thought that this episode was good. I've seen some people say this episode was horrible. I thought the episode was good. But I kind of just felt the whole season was good, which overall is not really what I wanted from this season. I wanted it to be great like the first season. And it just kind of left me disappointed. Overall, I think that is a solid finale. I think that there's a lot of great scenes in it. And I think that it makes for a good episode of television. It was just a step down and just disappointing.